Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sausalito Books by the Bay and our virtual happy hour event series with what I'm calling the Royal Court of Romance Writers. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'm Cheryl Popp, and this promises to be a very entertaining evening. I'm very honored to be the, I believe, only bookstore in California on the Royal Romance virtual tour. And I think it's very apropos because Sausalito is in fact a very romantic city. We're a little waterfront village just on the other side of San Francisco at the foot of the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's very apropos that they're joining us. After I introduce our 5 authors, you're going to hear from all of them, not just about the books that they've got published already, but what they're writing now. And since it's Valentine's Day on Sunday, and that is our theme, they also have lots of romantic ideas to offer. There are going to be games and door prizes, so stay with us until the end. And there should be time for Q&A. So as you think of it, if you have a question, you can put it into the chat. Most of you, in fact, I'm asking you all to stay muted until we get to that part of the program so we don't hear your cell phone or your dog barking. And please know that we will be sending all the registrants, everybody who attended, a recording of this program, as well as links to all the authors' websites, so you can follow up with them directly. And of course, we encourage you, if you haven't already, to buy books from us, and you can pre-order the ones that aren't out yet as well. So I hope everyone has their beverage of choice. Since this is a virtual happy hour, I opted for a red Negroni this evening in keeping with our theme of Valentine's Day. So let's get this virtual Valentine's Day party underway. All of the ladies, the authors I'm going to introduce, are New York Times, USA Today bestselling authors. They are all highly prolific writers who have garnered more awards and so much recognition, too much to even mention, but they can cover that with you. They all hail from the Pacific Northwest, which I think is kind of fun. 1 in Utah, 3 from Washington, and 1 in, did I say something wrong, Debbie? No, okay.
I just
okay.
Think Utah was the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, well, you know, I consider it. And I don't know. Anyway, Utah, Washington, and California. So we're really delighted that they're with us today. Some of them are very familiar names to you, probably. You have read their books and are anxiously awaiting the next one to be published. And if you aren't familiar with their work, we hope you will be after this, and that you do read it. I've really enjoyed. I have to admit, I haven't finished all of everything I'm reading, but enough to know that it's all really great. And this is the kind of writing that I think is so refreshing right now, based on all the trauma and turmoil in the world and in our lives. And I have just, I think it's Brenda's, I think I have an arc of the bookstore on the beach, you know, and so of course anything with bookstore I have to read, and it's just been a great escape, really a great escape. So without further ado, Debbie Macomber, she I think has 200 million copies of her books in print worldwide. I mean, it's outrageous everything she's done, and she does hail from the great state of Washington. Brenda
Northwest.
Brenda Novak claims that she did not have a creative bone in her body, but now is also a very prolific writer and actually hosts a Facebook book club with 17,000 members, which I think is just awesome. It's amazing. Melinda Curtis came from corporate America. That was my background as well. So we're both in recovery, I know. And she lives in Oregon's Willamette Valley, and she tossed in the corporate life for writing, which I think was a very smart thing to do. RaeAnne Thayne, there she is. I'm glad you're all waving. She actually has a background in journalism, and you're the one in Utah, right?
Yeah, I'm in Utah.
Yeah, okay, which is beautiful.
No, I'm near the Idaho border, which is kind of in the Pacific Northwest. So we'll count that.
It's close. It's close. And there's great skiing there. Oh my gosh. So, and last but not least, I'm going to introduce Sheila Roberts, who lives on a lake in the Pacific Northwest, used to play in a band, and also has written so many wonderful books. She is going to be your MC, or Mistress of Mayhem, as she refers to herself, and is going to sort of orchestrate this entire evening. You'll see me at the end, but I'm going to bow out and pass the baton to Sheila. So thank you, ladies, for joining us. Looking forward to this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Nice to see so many faces, and I did put something I thought in the chat. I don't see where it was, but I'll reiterate and say it's really great to be with all of you. And I want you all to take just 1 minute. I'm going to kind of stall for time for a second and yak so that you all have time to grab a pencil or pen and a little piece of paper, because we're going to play a Valentine game. And I've done this, I've tortured some of my writing friends with this kind of before too. Brenda will be very familiar with having to do a Sheila game, but this is a little Valentine game we're going to be playing, and it'd be kind of fun. And I will show you, of course, you can't play a game and not have a prize. So for our first couple winners that post that they got all the answers, this little mini Brussels Stover chocolate box that I will stick in the mail for some lucky winner. And because it's more fun when you can try and win something, right? And of course, there are quite a few of you out there. And so apologies that, we don't have, that I can't have a box of chocolates for all of you. But, the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th, it's all on sale for 50% off. So just keep that in mind, ladies. So I hope you've all had a chance to grab a little pencil and piece of paper here. And this game we're going to play is specific to Valentine's Day. I have thought up some famous pairs. Now, you have to think outside the box on some of these, because maybe they won't even be human. We don't know. But I'm going to give you clues, and then I want you to write down who you think I'm talking about. Okay, is that coming clear as mud to everybody? I hope they're all following with that. Pretty easy. We'll see how you do. I'll go through them, try and go through them slowly enough to have time to think, and then I'll go through them one more time before we check and see who got all their answers. So I hope you all found your piece of paper and your pencil and you're ready to roll. So here we go. Famous pairs. And again, you might have to think outside the box a little bit of this. Some of them will be easy for you, I know. But let's start with this one. Oh, I wish he would take his hand out of his jacket. Oh, I wish he would take his hand out of his jacket. That's our first clue for our first pair. Who might that be? One of them is talking about the other one. That's number one. Oh, I wish he would take his hand out of his jacket.
Got that one.
Okay, number two. Stop your fussing. I just want to cut your hair. Stop your fussing. I just want to cut your hair. Okay, number three, maybe you have to be a certain age to get this one, but I've got you, babe. I got you, babe. Anyway, that was a major clue, wasn't it? Okay, number four, she's not nearly fine enough to tempt me. I know a lot of you readers would get that in a heartbeat, right? Who said that about whom? She's not nearly fine enough to tempt me. Okay, number five. He and I are one. He and I are one. Okay, number six. Just take a bite of this apple, honey. Just take a bite of this apple, honey. Okay, numero seven. These two learned that crime doesn't pay. These two learned that crime doesn't pay. I hear people frantically scribbling. Oh, you guys are so smart, I can tell. Okay, number eight. Eat your meal with us. Eat your meal with us. RaeAnne is looking puzzled. Good, maybe I've stumped somebody with this one. Again, think outside the box. Eat your meal with us. Okay, number nine. I stand as tribute. Do you love me anyway?
Say that again, Sheila.
I stand as tribute. Do you love me anyway? Okay, number 10. I'm sure you will all get this one. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Oh, yeah, that was easy.
Everybody smiled at that one. See, I'm giving you some nice, easy ones. Okay, that was number 10. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Number 11, wherefore art thou anyway? Number 11, wherefore art thou anyway? That should be a really easy one for you guys too, I think. Okay, number 12. This might stump you a little. I'm hoping to stump you a little here. Number 12, men love this pair. Men love this pair. Oh yes, this is good. Everybody's looking properly puzzled. I like that. Oh, okay, number 13. Super when he's not wearing his glasses. He is just super when he's not wearing his glasses. I hear more frantic scribbling. Okay, number 14. Wait a minute, you're married? Somebody here is crazy. Wait a minute, you're married? Somebody here is crazy. Okay, and here's our last one. They traveled through time and into a TV series. They traveled through time and into a TV series, and I bet a lot of you love it.
I should
Okay,
know that.
I'll quickly read them all one more time, and then we'll see who got them. So number 1 was, oh, I wish he would take his hand out of his jacket. Number 2 was, stop your fussing, I just want to cut your hair. Number 3 was, I've got you, babe. Number 4 was, she's not nearly fine enough to tempt me. Number 5, he and I are one. Number 6, just take a bite of this apple, honey. Number 7 was, these two learned that crime doesn't pay. Number 8 was, eat your meal with us. Number 9, I stand as tribute. Do you love me anyway? Number 10 was, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. 11 was, wherefore art thou anyway? And number 12 was, men love this pair. Number 13, he is just super when he's not wearing his glasses. And number 14 was, wait a minute, you're married. Somebody here is crazy. Number 15 was, they traveled through time and into a TV series. And I'm going to ask that my fellow writers unmute themselves. The rest of you can play along and see if you got theirs. But I'm going to ask my gal pals here and have them ring in and tell me if they've got any of these. So ladies, how many of you got number 1 about taking the hand out of the jacket? Who was it?
Napoleon and Josephine.
All right. Did you all get that? Your writers got that? Oh, you guys.
I did not get
How about the stop fussing? I just want to cut your hair.
that. Samson and Delilah.
Yes.
Oh.
And how about oh, Mel's like, it's really easy once you know the answer, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, how about number 3? I've got you, babe.
I got that. Fair.
Yes, very good. Okay, I'm sure everybody here got this one. She's not nearly fine enough to tempt me.
Mr.
Yeah.
Darcy and Elizabeth.
Yes,
Yeah.
Darcy and Elizabeth Bennett.
I
Oh
wonder.
my goodness. Okay, how about he and I are one?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Anybody? Nobody? That was
Adam and Eve.
Heathcliff and Kathy, Wuthering Heights. She
Oh,
said that right after he went running off, and then it was too late for him to hear. Okay, so how about the take a bite of the apple?
Adam and Eve, yeah.
This is very good.
Snow
And
White.
how about the pair who learned that crime doesn't pay?
Bonnie
Oh,
and
and
Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh boy, you guys are all doing good. How about eat your meal with us? Did anybody get that? That was a hard one. Okay, well, salt and pepper.
Oh.
Oh, everybody groans. Oh, I have to stump you a couple times, you guys. Okay, how about the I stand as tribute? Who were the pair in that?
I don't know
Actually,
that.
2 guys. I'll take either of the guys.
Was it Cleopatra and?
No. The Hunger Games. Katniss and Peeta, Katniss Everdeen and Peeta. Lamarck or whatever the heck his last name was. And then there was the other guy too. I couldn't think of his name off the top of my head, but I'll take either of the men in that book because they both loved her.
I
Okay,
didn't get that.
how about who didn't give a damn?
Scarlet.
Scarlet and Rep. Okay, and wherefore art thou?
Romeo.
Very good, ladies. Okay, I bet this stumped some of you too. Men love this pair.
Done that.
I could only think of one thing and it wasn't nice.
I know.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, that's so
We think alike.
not going down there. This is being recorded. So, meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes. Men love meat and potatoes.
Potatoes.
Just try to get them to eat a vegetable. At least with mine, it's like I have to. I don't know. I have to coat it, and I don't know what I even coat it. I have to hypnotize them and then make them eat his vegetables. We love vegetables. Okay. He is just super.
Superman is
Lois.
Lois
That's right,
Lane.
Lois Lane and Superman. Okay, and wait a minute. You're married.
Bingo.
How about Jane Eyre and Mr. Rochester? Remember he had his crazy wife in the attic?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the crazy was I thought I was really giving it away when I added the crazy clue. I'm anybody out there, just raise your hands if anybody got that one. I will look and see on the screen if I see any hands going up. I don't see any hands going up. Of course, I'm not seeing everybody on the screen, so maybe somebody did get that. Okay, how about our last one? The time travelers.
Jamie and Claire.
Very good. All right, fun. Okay, so
You
now,
all.
first of all, if anybody got, did anybody get 15? Just type in a me real quickly on the chat room. And if we don't see a me, then we're going to say who got 14. 7. Anybody? Somebody? If you got 14, who type it in fast? If you got a 14, do we see a 14 anywhere? I'm not seeing that. I'll take 13. Do I hear 13? Boy, I just said oh my goodness. Do I hear 12? Are we seeing anybody yet? I'm not seeing everybody. I got 7. We got 8 out of 15. Good honk.
Eight
Okay.
is the most I'm seeing so far.
There's a 9 now. There's
There's a
one 9.
9. There's a 9.
There's a 9. Okay, we have a 9. All right. Anybody go higher than 9? Anybody go higher than 9? Going once. Going twice. Type it quick. Higher than a 9. There's a 10. There's another 10. Okay, it goes to the
Good kitty.
2 10s are going to get a box of chocolates. So ladies, what I'm going to need you to do is go to sheilasplace.com and on the contact form and say, I won the chocolates in the game at the book party, the Valentine book party, and give me your snail mail address. And please be in the United States. It's really expensive to ship to Canada. I just remembered this recently. It cost me an arm and a leg. Oh, anyway, so that would be good if you can do that. And if you can't find the website, you should be able to though. Just you can message me on my Facebook like page, either one. Fun with Sheila. So that was great, guys. That was way fun, and I'm happy I stumped some of you. That made my day. And again, I can irritate people. I'm always happy, so that's a good thing. So we're gonna move on though. Next.
Sheila,
Yes.
excuse me just a moment. I'm on my phone. I tried to join the meeting on my computer. When I put the ID number and then the passcode, they tell me they're incorrect. Can somebody help me with that real quick?
But you're on, right?
Yes, but I'm on my phone. When I
Oh,
tried
okay.
to join the meeting,
Can you,
Uh,
okay, now we've got, where's our gal who's helping us with all of this?
Angela.
Angela, can she, is there an email or should she call the store maybe and talk to you?
No, I'm not at the store.
if they can just give me the numbers to type in.
Let me look. Let's see. Kathy,
Okay.
can you try again on your computer and see if it pops up for me?
I think what she needs to do is go back to the join me link. If you registered, they sent you a link to join, and that's what you click. And you shouldn't even have to enter a password or a passcode. You do on your phone, but not on your computer.
Right, and I'm not, for
Oh.
whatever reason, I can't get my email to update, so I'm not able to do it on my computer.
Okay, but you're on your phone. The passcode was romance.
Okay, and that's something else that I had. For the meeting ID, what is it, ma'am?
Angela is we're gonna continue with our meeting, and Angela is gonna get that to you. It's Kathy, right? Kathy Bennett?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Do you see Kathy, Angela?
Kathy Bennett was on.
She's
Her
on.
picture was up. Her
Yeah,
picture was up. Her picture is up right now.
We can see
on
you,
the phone.
Kathy.
Okay, well, I was just on my phone and not my computer, which is what I want it to be, so I could see
Right.
everybody a lot better.
Well, as long as you're on your phone and you're somewhere, we'll go good with that. And the girls will work with you on the
Okay.
side to see if we
Okay.
can get you in. Okay, kiddo? All right, and we will move on only because I did promise the ladies that we would
Okay.
try and keep this to an hour because they're all different time zones here and I don't want to
Right.
have you all up, till midnight being
Yeah,
mad.
it's almost my bedtime.
So Kathy, hopefully we'll get you pulled in. Okay, so on to our next part of our program. Oh, I've got an echo. Why is that?
I hear it too.
It didn't happen before. I don't know why. Now it stopped. It's still there. Well, we'll carry on. I'm talking last anyway. So we're going to start with, I want the gals to each share. They all have a Valentine tip for you. And we're going to start with Debbie. And Debbie, are you ready? What's your fabulous Valentine tip for all of us?
Well, I can tell you that I am married to probably the most unromantic man in the world. And he feels such tremendous pressure being married to a romance writer. And so he just frets and worries and he just can't handle it, that all of the pressure. So I decided that I would take the pressure off of him. So I create a Valentine's Day for us. And it's something he'll enjoy and something I'll enjoy. One year I took him to a professional basketball game, and then we went to the restaurant of my choice. And other years I just take the pressure off of him and handle it myself, and we're both happy.
That works. Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
How about RaeAnne? How about you, RaeAnne? Are you married to a romantic fool or do you take charge on Valentine's Day?
He's very romantic. He tries very hard to surprise me every year and he does a wonderful job.
Oh,
And I think he feels the pressure too. I think it's probably common among romance authors' spouses that they are worried that they don't quite measure up to the heroes that we write about. But of course they do. He's my inspiration for everything. But
oh.
I was trying to think of good advice, and we've been married, it'll be 35 years this year. And so we did all those super romantic things in the first maybe 10 or 15, and now we're just busy dealing with our kids and all that stuff. But one thing I really love with him is, if we just the two of us can take a walk somewhere, we're lucky we live in the mountains, and if we can just take a walk and hold hands and walk in the snow up in the mountains, it's always so romantic, by a stream especially, and I love doing that. So just even those quiet moments, or taking a drive and looking at the snow falling or something like that, those are things that I love to do with him.
Oh, sweet.
That's so romantic.
So sweet.
If my husband grabbed my hand, I think I must be falling or something.
Okay, Brenda, what about you? How can you top a walk in the snow?
Well, actually, my husband is probably somewhere in between. I think he's pretty romantic, but he's always very affectionate. So romance or Valentine's Day is just, he'll do a little something extra, but he's affectionate all the time and pretty thoughtful. But what we did one year is we created, I don't know if everybody can see this, these are little cards for Valentine's Day that actually help you plan fun romantic date nights. So what you do is you open it. So this would be perfect for Wayne, Debbie, but you open this little package and inside it tells you that these are date night ideas for lovers or friends. Pick a card at random and plan your night accordingly. So one of my favorite things to do with Ted is actually our first card, which says to eat a progressive 5-course dinner with each course coming from a different restaurant or food truck. So it's basically all night eating. You can tell how much we love food, but it's really fun to do this progressive dinner and get to pick spots. Maybe one is Thai and the next one is Italian. And anyway, it's quite the adventure and something special for Valentine's Day. But there's a lot of other things in here that you can do. You can have a board game marathon, make a personalized scavenger hunt for each other, go to a bookstore and pick out a book for each other without giving any hints. And anyway, the suggestions go on. So at least we have some helpful hints if we get stuck. And we put these in one of our February Brenda Novak book boxes one year, and I think everybody enjoyed them.
Very fun. I'm so going to steal that progressive dinner idea from my next year's February newsletter. I just think that's way fun. What a cute idea. How about you, Mel?
It's really fun. And you can go with another couple and they can have input in some of the places you go. It's fun.
Miss Mel, what have you got for us?
Well, this year I bought sticky notes from the dollar store that were heart-shaped. And every day starting on February 1st, I wrote something that I was appreciative or grateful for that he was doing. because I don't know if you could tell, but right now I'm sitting in our antique room. We're remodeling the house, and one of my antiques is covered in plastic because there is no wall on that side. So he has been like tearing down walls and being a really good sport about helping out the contractor. He's kind of like Brenda's husband, I think. Like he shows up, and brings me, like Brenda and I have flown together before, and her husband has met us with food and chocolates for her. I mean, he's that kind of guy. And my husband kind of follows along in that vein. And I think I'm like RaeAnne in that we've been married like 36 years, and it seems like forever, right, RaeAnne? Like you think back, like I don't remember when I was single.
I don't remember when I was single.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
weird
that's
when you
funny.
hit the point where you've been with them much longer than you were ever single, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm not even gonna say how long we've been married, but it's been about a million years. I'm like the old lady of the group. Look at the hair color. I tried to hide the white because I got tired of looking like a Q-tip. So I have a few little bits of color in there somewhere. But anyway, we've done a lot of, I'm kind of like some of the gals. My husband is just a sweetheart and a kind-hearted man. But again, the pressure, and Sheila, who always wants everything to be an adventure, that's a challenge. So I have kind of done the same as Debbie. I just sort of take over, and this is what we're going to do this year. And one year, I have to laugh, I did a little scavenger hunt for us. I made little clues that he had to figure out that led him to different shops around town. They all had things that he liked. One was a shop where he got ping pong balls, and I don't remember what all. And then it was too funny. And then we went for dinner, and then we were going to come back for dessert. And I had the cute little fancy nightgown. Well, I was so tired after planning that. I was too tired for dessert. Going, what happened to dessert? I'm going, I can have dessert tomorrow. I'm tired, boys. Anyway, so we do a lot of fun things together. And of course, the maybe going from shop to shop and restaurant to restaurant, a lot of us might be kind of stuck in that bubble right now, and just or you're locked in with COVID, or the places aren't as open as you want. So, but I have ideas. I have show and tell. This little handy dandy blindfold. You can play hide and seek. Find me and you get me. So the idea is to blindfold your sweetheart, and in a limited amount of space, so he doesn't kill himself falling down the basement stairs, you can have him be hunting for you, and you can give him hints like spritzes of perfume or making kissy noises, and see if he can get his hands on you. And if he can
I
find you,
can see Wayne doing that.
but also, and if you happen to have families, because of course a lot of us do have families, and again, we can't maybe go out. Another fun variation of this is just to have a family hunt and seek. Mom hides with the goodies, the treats, the chocolates, whatever you're all going to have, the suckers, and everybody has to go and find her. And when my kids were younger in our church youth group, we played a variation of this called sardines. I don't know if any of you ever heard of that, but sardine number one, mom goes and hides someplace. It can be in the bathroom shower stall. It can be under the bed. It can be in a closet. And everybody has to look for it. The next person who finds her hides with her, and they stay quiet. And then the next, so it goes until everybody is all crammed together wherever mom was hiding, and then they get the goodies. So that's just kind of a fun little thing you can do to make things fun. I know we keep trying to think of, we're all kind of stuck together, and how can we make this fun? And, that's just kind of a fun little party.
With grandkids too, Sheila. Your little grandkids would love that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. For grandkids. And you can even do a version of that. How many of you ever played hide the penny with your kids or the hide the button, where you hide it and you're getting warmer, you're getting colder. You can do that too with the grandkids with like it's a little candy, a little peppermint or something. And you're getting warmer, you're getting colder, and do it several times. And that will keep them highly entertained, and you highly entertained as well, which is kind of a fun thing to do. So it's always kind of nice to be able to have a little bit of an activity if you're oriented that way. Different temperaments like to do different things. We're like RaeAnne, we want to take the walk in the snow. Brenda's going to do the eating. Debbie's in charge. Melinda, I forgot, Melinda, what you were doing. What were you doing, Melinda? I forgot. What were you doing?
What I am doing is now plotting that scene in a romance book with a hero and heroine, and no one can find them. That's what I'm doing.
You're so funny. Anyway, so, obviously you tailor this to what your temperament is and what your husband's temperament is, and different things are going to work for different people. But those are just some fun ideas for things that you can do. And I loved Brenda's suggestion with the buy your sweetie a book. I mean, oh my gosh, Sausalito what's a better way to make Valentine's Day than to buy your sweetheart a book? And speaking of, I think it would be fun for the gals to share a little bit about upcoming books that they're excited about. Some of us has books out right now. Some of us has ones that are just around the corner going to be coming out. And so again, we'll just keep our order and start with Debbie. Debbie, I mean, I don't know how you can keep track of all your books because Debbie is a book machine. She is just amazing. She's like my heroine. But Debbie, how would you like to share about what you're excited about right now?
Oh, I'm really excited about my book that's coming out in July, and it's called It's Better This Way. And it's about two divorced couples or two divorced people that meet. And I actually got the idea from our pastor, who he would tell his kids when something would go wrong, well, it's just better this way. It's better this way. And so they threatened to put it on his tombstone when he dies. And actually, my heroine, Julia, is, you know, she didn't want the divorce. It's just has broken her heart. And she remembers her dad always saying, it's better this way. And so she goes through the next few years of her life saying, it is better this way. And she reinvents herself and finds new love.
Oh, I love that.
I do too.
That's
Yeah.
cool. And you know what? I mean, sometimes we do have to reinvent ourselves, don't we? And I think there's always something good around the corner. I don't know if any of you guys ever buy Dove chocolates. That's one of my favorite, the Dove Dark. And you unwrap them, there's always a little saying in there. And one of the ones said, oh, what did it say? Every story has a happy ending. If you're not happy yet, it's not the end of your story. And I just think that's such a cute little
That
thing.
is, that's good.
So love it. Okay, RaeAnne, how about you?
Well, my next release is The Path to Sunshine Cove. It comes out on March 30th in hardcover. The cover is back there, I think. And it is another one set in my Cape Sanctuary series where they're completely standalone single title books, but set in the same place, Northern California, fictional town that is a combination of like Cannon Beach and Monterey. And I just sort of smushed them together and created my own place that I love. And this is about two sisters, and they've been separated by, you know, years between them and some painful events that have happened. And one of them lives in this little town, and she is an Instagrammer, is a social influencer, and is very concerned about everything being perfect. And then the other one has a really interesting job where she travels around the country helping seniors move into smaller living situations. So she helps them clean out their houses so that they can, you know, downsize if they have to go into assisted living or into a senior apartment or whatever. And so she ends up in the same little town, and they are able to reconnect. And of course there are romances in there. The one who is married, the Instagrammer, has to reconnect with her husband, and the other one, of course, finds a sweetheart there.
Of course. Do you have can you grab that hard copy to show? Is that within reach?
Yeah, right here.
Let's have you do a show and tell. I mean, why not, right?
Right there. Beautiful
There
cover.
you go. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous cover. A lot of us share the same publisher, and our publisher has the most beautiful book covers. I'm always so happy with the cover art on my book covers. It's just amazing. Thank you, RaeAnne. How about you, Brenda? Tell us what you're excited about, lovey.
Yeah, I have this book coming out here. It's called The Bookstore on the Beach. I love reading about books and bookstores. So of course that is definitely in here. It's about a woman whose husband goes missing, not under any nefarious circumstances. He takes off on what she thinks is a business trip and then just never comes home, and they can't figure out what happened to him. It was abroad in a distant place. And so she starts figuring out that, you know, maybe he led this other life, not with another woman or anything, but doing some work for the government. And so they can't find him. He's just gone. And she's trying to figure out, you know, what do I do? I've got these two children who are teenagers. She takes them back to her hometown, which is on the beach, and her mother runs this bookstore. And so she's trying to figure out, do I let go? Do I keep looking? I've done everything I can. Am I safe to move on? And so it's one of those stories where her mother's been hiding a secret for years, and she's thinking, is now the time to tell her? Probably not. And she meets an old boyfriend, and she wants to rekindle something there, but this husband, she doesn't even know if she's free to do so. So anyway, I really enjoyed writing this book. I think it's my favorite so far, so I hope everybody will enjoy it.
Oh, cool. It sounds great. I'm going to be getting a copy. That's for sure. My goodness, how fun. Okay, let's see. How about Mel? Mel, I gotta say, these girls all are such fabulous writers. I'm big fans of all of them, and they all have different styles and different types of book. And one of the things that Mel really does well is humor. And is there going to be some humor in your new book? I hope.
There is. I have 2 books out actually in February. The first one is out already. The Littlest Cowgirls. The cover's adorable. The 2 little babies on it. And it's an action hero star who thought he was dating one twin, but was actually dating another. And he has babies. There are lots of twists and turns. And he is a wonderful character to write because he needs some humor in his life. He thinks he's the greatest thing. You know, he's a box office action hero star, former cowboy. Like he needs a little comeuppance. So when he comes to town, he gets that. And then I have another one in the series from Forever Romance that I haven't gotten the latest book. It comes out in 2 weeks. But in that series, the Sunshine Valley series, it's about, well, I have matchmaking widows who play poker at the beginning of every book to decide who they're going to matchmake. And then in the book Dream a Little Dream that's coming out, it's a former bull rider who's broken his leg and his romance with his high school sweetheart. So have a lot of fun with that.
That sounds fun. That really
Love the meddling women.
Yes.
we like meddling women. I like to meddle, so I can identify with that.
Yeah.
But I've got Sheila Roberts here again, and I have got a series. I've done a couple of series. The one I'm working on right now is set in a fictional town called Moonlight Harbor, which is really Ocean Shores, Washington in disguise. We've got some little beach digs down there, and I love that place. It's just so much fun. And I have my main character is a gal whose dirty, rotten scumbag husband cheated on her and then hit her up for spousal support because he's an artiste, a struggling artist, and she's not really has any money. She's got to keep giving this bozo money. Anyway, so she ends up managing this rundown little motel and bringing it back to life, this vintage motel. And so we have various characters who keep coming through the motel, and she's trying to sort out her love life, and she's got a couple different guys that are in the running. And this book, she's finally going to get her love life sorted out and pick her man. So I think we're going to be having a lot of fun with that. We're going to be doing Team Brody versus Team Seth, who's going to get the girl. And the book is called Sunset on Moonlight Beach. And that's a fun one that comes out end of April. And so I'm going, Brenda, you and I both have beach books. We'll have to have a beach party or something.
Yeah. When does yours come out, Sheila?
Mine comes out a little later than yours. I come out end of April.
So I think RaeAnne's is March. Mine is April 7th. Yours is end of April. Mel's is already out, and Debbie's, yours is June, right?
July 13th.
We'll have to do a beach party, you guys. Anyway, I'm excited about this. It's going to be fun. If anybody has not read any of the other books, so I would recommend maybe reading one other Moonlight Harbor book first, because it'll be a bit of a spoiler for the other books that go before it. So you might want to just check out the town first, see if you like it, and then you can decide if you want to root for Jenna or if you think she's a bozo. So we'll just leave it at that. But I do believe that we've got one of my books for sale. And which one was that? Welcome to Moonlight Harbor? No, Beachside Beginnings, right? I think that's the one that Cheryl's got for sale. And I like that book because it talks about women hitting restart on their lives. I've got a gal who's coming out of an abusive relationship who just takes control, makes a new life for herself. I've got another gal who has to decide what she's going to do with her alcoholic husband. And then I've got a woman who's been on her own for years and maybe is going to have another chance at love. And I'm a big believer in second chances at love. So I'm a big believer in hitting restart at your life. You can always improve your life, and you should never let past mistakes stop you from moving on and doing great things. I am a true believer of that. And I suspect all the other ladies here with me feel the same way.
Carol, why don't you tell her which books you have of each of ours, what you have available?
We have the most recent. There's a lot of feedback here.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going.
Okay. There's a lot of feedback. Anyway, somebody, if everyone other than the speakers could mute themselves, that would be very helpful. This is the problem on these calls. Anyway, I don't know that you can hear me. Can everyone mute themselves except the speakers? Please mute yourself if you're not a speaker. Okay. It's maybe a little bit better. Let me see if I can, if this helps at all. I don't know if it does. Anyway, we
We'll just deal with it.
yeah, sorry. Anyway, we do have all of the most recent books. We have the most recent books. We have the most recent books that everyone has published, and we also are taking pre-orders for their new books. So you could just email us or go to your local independent bookstore. I know not all of you live right near here. We do ship for free anywhere in the US.
We've all sent you book plates so you can
Yes.
have autographed copies. So this is a great chance to get some autographed copies to beef up your collection.
Exactly, exactly. We have signed book plates, and I think Sheila provided recipe cards as well. And I made the shrimp dip last night for a Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. It was very good.
Good, isn't it?
So anyway, yes, all of you have been fabulous in, providing all of that. So we're happy to work with any of you to get you signed copies of the books that the most recent book that was most currently published we have. And then we are taking a lot of pre-orders actually for the new books that are coming out. We've gotten quite a few of those. And some people want everything and they say, yes, just wait till you have everything and then ship it to us. And we do ship for free. So anywhere in the US, like Sheila said, we do not want to do
Yeah.
outside. It's a little pricey to do that.
Friends, but boy, it gets pricey. I hate to.
It
not do
does.
but
It
really
does. It does.
Well, that's
So Sheila, do you want to take Q&A now from our listeners?
Let me just real quickly, in case
Okay.
anybody has to leave early because of time differences, I want to just really quickly mention that we are, and later on, and Cheryl will explain to you how she's going to do this, but we do have some door prizes. And so I want to just really quickly let everybody share what theirs are going to be. Mine is this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it properly, this cute little star, whatever the heck this thing is, starfish necklace. That's going to be mine that I'll be happy to mail out to somebody. We'll draw a name for that. And let's just go down the list. Debbie, tell them what you're giving away.
I have an online magazine called Welcome Home, and I'm giving away a 1-year free subscription.
And it's fabulous. I read the last issue and it was amazing.
And you were in it, Brenda.
I said, yes, I was, come to think of it.
But that's a great gift. And okay, and let's see, where am I on my list? RaeAnne, I think you were doing something really nice also.
I'm doing a $25 gift card to the store, and they will figure out, I guess, who wins that and send that out to them.
So that's way cool. And Brenda, I see we did Brenda. Brenda, we didn't do you, did we? Brenda, what are you doing?
I'm doing, this is a bookish mask, and it comes in a cute little pack that says, reading takes you places when you have to stay where you are.
Oh, I love that.
Inside is a cute little mask that says, it's adjustable, it's this soft cotton book lover to keep you safe. And it has this cool little clip that clips to your blouse so that when you take it off to eat or drink, you don't have to find your mask again and dig it out of your purse or anything. You can just put it back on, drop it, put it back on. So anyway, my daughter Megan, who runs Little Baby, developed these. So we put this whole thing in our February Brenda Novak book boxes. So I thought that would be a fun little gift to give away tonight, in addition to a $25 gift certificate to the store. So that'll be a little package deal, but they'll ship separately, of course. The store will take care of the gift card, and I'll ship this out to the winner.
That's awesome. And Mel, I believe you were doing something nice also.
Oh, yes, a $25 gift card. So I know that Cheryl's probably going to draw those winners so that I can't play favorites. I see a lot of familiar reader names in here.
Yes, it's fun to see. And we will take Q&A now, but first I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm seeing some familiar faces too, and it's just so much fun to have all of you here. I mean, I know that even though a lot of us are cooped up, you're all still busy and you all still have commitments. And so we appreciate you taking the time to come and party with us. This is just so much fun. And it's such a pleasure for us as writers to be able to meet people. I would love it. I'm always having people going, well, could you come here or could you come there? I'm like, my goodness, yeah, if I was a bazillionaire, I could probably hop on a plane and come and visit everybody. But, you know, it's just kind of hard to do it. Virtually, we have a chance to meet so many of you that maybe we wouldn't get a chance to otherwise. So this is really special. And I guess, Cheryl, we've got just about 5 or 10 minutes left. If we have a couple of Q&As that we want to wind down with, do you want to take over?
There was a question on there earlier. Someone asked how we find the names, how we choose the character names. I answered in the comments, but I don't know if the rest of you would like to answer that one.
Well, I like mine to be symbolic sometimes. If I can at all make that happen, that have maybe a secret meaning or a hidden meaning that maybe people won't always get. I love my upcoming, in my Christmas book that'll be out this year, the guy's name is Stanley Mann, M-A-N-N, and he's this little Scrooge. And I just thought because it's just kind of like every man kind of thing. So he was kind of symbolic of all the Scrooges out there who need to find their Christmas spirit. But anyway, so I just think it's always fun to try and find a name that has a little bit, and not always, can't always do it, but I really do try to find a name. One of my really early books, I had a woman who had gone through breast cancer at a very young age and was dealing with self-esteem issues. She was just this wonderful, lovable character, but her name was Hope Walker, as in walking in hope. And then when she finally married her hero, his name was Jason Wells. So her married name was Hope Wells. And I just thought that was fun. Anybody else want to take that question?
I try to do that sometimes. I can't affect it every time. So like, for instance, I had one named Grace because of everything that she had gone through as a victim of molestation as a child and how it manifested. And then she ended up getting herself in a situation where she didn't have good self-esteem. And as an adult, she became a prosecutor and she won every case because she was such a big law and order, because it was almost like she was angry with herself and this was the way she was overcompensating. So anyway, I thought that was appropriate for her. But sometimes I just want a name that really fits the character well and that will resonate with their type of personality. And I actually have a book that my assistant gave me one year of names for characters, because I tend to find favorite names, especially for secondary characters, and I will continually use them. And like in every book almost, and I have my assistant who loves to read them before I turn them in. She'll say like, I just really love the name Bennett. Everybody's last name is Bennett here, you know? So I have to be careful. So she got me this book where I can, you know, look up and at least make sure that after 70 something books, I get characters that are, you know, a whole new cast with a new name.
That's a great idea. That's
Wonderful.
Great.
So my colleague Angela has been monitoring questions, and we have quite a few. Someone did ask if this is being recorded, and I can say, yes, it is. And everyone who's registered will get a copy of the recording. I can't wait to watch it again, actually. And you'll also get links to all the authors' websites, as well as ours. So, but Angela, what are some questions we've got?
I've got a great question that I want answered too. Why do different countries get different book covers? Do you know?
Debbie, take it away.
Well, I can say that the marketing department is the most powerful department in the entire publishing world. And every country has their own marketing department, and they're the ones that basically decide on the covers and also the titles. And so whenever you go to a different country, you're dealing with a different publisher and a different marketing department. And so they just do what they want, and we just bow our heads and say, you know better.
Sometimes.
Sometimes that even happens in the States. I just had a beautiful cover created for Keep Me Warm at Christmas, which is coming out in the fall. My editor and I were really happy with it. And then when they, as Debbie said, sales and marketing are kind of everything. So they took it and presented it to them and they said, no, that's not special enough. So now we're back to the drawing board. So we're scratching our head going, special, that's kind of tough to hit without a little bit more narrow parameters. But I'm anxious to see what they come up with this time.
It's nice to know they think you're special. I mean, that's very cool.
A great story. One time I had a book, I don't even remember the original title of it, but marketing and the sales staff didn't like the the title I chose. So they went very late at night. It was after 7 o'clock at New York time. And being a writer means always knowing what time it is in New York. And so they called, it was after 7 their time. And they said, this is the title and we're not changing our minds. It's Susanna's Garden. And I said, that's a lovely title, but there's nobody in the book named Susanna and there's no garden.
Oh, no.
What did you do then? Did you quickly write into Susanna?
I changed my heroine's name to Susanna and I added a garden.
Wow. Oh,
Accommodation, Debbie.
Okay, another question is, have you ever started a book with your main characters and then find that the secondary characters take over and have to change your book?
Not for me.
Not for me.
I plot enough in advance that that doesn't usually happen, but sometimes I write them and decide, okay, I've got to write this person's book, a secondary character in a future book. That's usually what happens in that case.
yeah, they get the spotlight.
Yeah.
I always figure I am God of that world, and what I say goes. My character, like the real God, my characters have no free will. It's like,
But
what
that's
the heck?
actually how I started my first
And,
series,
you know,
was doing that.
And in fact, I kind of like that because, there's so much in life you can't control. It's really nice to be able to control what's going on in your writing world.
Oh, I have a question. I have one of my editors always asks me in my Monroe books to put the Clark boys, the 3 little Clark boys, they're 10 and under, in the book somewhere. Do you guys ever get requests for editors wanting to see your characters, some of your supporting cast?
Nobody loves my characters.
I haven't had that request, but for the previous question, I was starting a book and the secondary character was so much more lively and fun, her best friend. She was really kind of reckless and brash and, she had to learn to rein it in. She got hurt a lot, but she was very bold. And somehow I just fell in love with this character and she started overcoming the story. And it's the first time I've ever really had any significant, we all have revisions, but a significant revision where my editor sat me down and she's like, this is not a subplot. This is a warring plot with the plot you have going. And I remember thinking, it was very early on in my career and I'm thinking, oh, how do I fix that? But it actually turned out to be a really great silver lining because I just lifted out that 70 pages or whatever, most of it. And I was able to salvage a lot of it. And that's what was the second book. It launched my very first series. So it turned out to be a good thing in the end, but having those warring characters that you asked about, I could really identify with that.
Okay, I have another question. They want to know how many of you get to go and research the places that you're writing about?
Well, Debbie and I both, this is so funny, unbeknownst to each of us. I know Debbie, we love to cruise. Debbie, adventurous, crazy woman that she is, did the Amazon with the tsetse flies and the alligators, and Sheila, the wimp, did the Christmas markets in Europe. But it turned out that we both wound up writing both our Christmas books this last year were books that were set on a cruise. And sometimes, you do that and it's like, wow, this would be a fabulous book. And Debbie, I'm assuming you did like me and saved your itinerary. I saved my itinerary so I could refer back to it.
I don't know if I did or not, but I certainly have done a lot of research when I did the Alaska series. I flew up past the Arctic Circle and the same when I did the Texas series and traveled there. And when I was in North Dakota, I did. So it just gives such a real feel for the area and you can't help but absorb that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so much easier to write from knowledge. You can write more powerfully, more convincingly.
Angela, I think we have time for one more question, maybe.
And actually, I like this one a lot because it often is on my mind. How has the pandemic affected your writing?
I'm just still writing away.
Has it affected your habit? Do you write more?
Pretty much, I don't know about the rest of the girls, but I'm pretty much on the same schedule. And I think the writing has made for a great escape. I know a lot of people were very affected by it, and some of my writing friends have been also, but I found it to be very cathartic. What about the rest of you girls?
Yeah, it took a lot of pressure off because I felt like I didn't also have to juggle traveling with this. So in a way, it was kind of a little bit of as worried as I was about the world, if I could compartmentalize that and answer just for the writing, it actually relieved a little bit of pressure and allowed me to
Mhm.
get caught up and lope along.
I think for writers, it was probably one of the most, there's not a lot wonderful about the pandemic, but it really gave you license to spend a lot of time at home writing that you might not have had otherwise. I think for someone in your industry or business, it was, whoa, okay, I can just write. I don't have to, although I think for the authors who've introduced books and have tried to do book tours last year, very, very difficult because there were no book tours and very tough time to open a bookstore or to publish a book. But there's so many loyal readers out there. And I think probably we should wrap up pretty soon because I'm so conscientious about getting people home to their family and their children and everything else. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And I really want to thank our royal court of romance writers. I want you all to come here. I want to see you in person, however. And I know in some ways, you know, that is another silver lining of the pandemic is that we've all been forced to pivot to digital and do these virtual events, which I'm sorry, they don't resonate the same as an in-person event, but it does enable us to have people from Washington and Utah and Sacramento and here in Sausalito with us. And I'm just so indebted to all of you for being with us. And your writing is keeping us on balance and keeping us going. And I'm just so grateful. And with great gratitude, I thank you all for being here, including all of the people who joined us this evening. We will be sending you a recording of this. We will be sending you links to their websites. You'll be getting these door prizes. You'll be getting the winners will be getting the chocolate. It'll all be handled. And certainly if you want to order a book from us, we will be happy to get it to you. And I just, you know, everyone be well. Love is in the air. Let's make it happen. Let's keep it going. And happy Valentine's Day. This was a great Valentine's Day party.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Happy Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
thank you for
Bye,
hosting.
ladies. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.